I'm going to show you guys how to install these factory in-floor storage bins for the Ram. These came off a 2010 Ram, I think a 1500. I put them in a 2022 Ram 2500, so they are compatible. There are a couple different styles, I believe, so you have to make sure you're getting the right style, whether it's this kind of rectangular shape with the curved edges, or there's another model that has kind of the same, but then it cuts off at the corners a bit with a 45, I think. So just make sure you're getting the right parts first. These ones, they measure on the outside roughly a little over 8 by hard to film and measure at the same time here, but about 15.5-ish. Alright, the first thing you're going to need to do before you even can decide if this is going to work for you is go under your truck, under the floorboard of the rear seats, and you're going to see these cutouts. As you can see, like the screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you got this rectangular cutout. So when you lift up the carpet in the back seat, you're going to see the top of this. We're going to look at that next. Alright, so standing here in the passenger side, rear seat, and you can see got these carpeted floorboards here. So in order to get these out, you're going to need 18mm socket and a trim removal tool. Alright, so you're going to use the 18mm to loosen up the bolt here so you can take the carpet out. This is on the rear bench seat. And then you're also going to take out the bolts for the rear bolts of your passenger seat. And then you're going to use this trim tool to take out all these little, see if I can find them here, all these little guys. Right, so in order to get these out, and I'll show you, I already took them all out except for this one, so you just kind of get under it like that. Just kind of start wiggling them out. Right. A lot of times they come out real easy. Sometimes you got to kind of fudge with them a little. Okay. That's going to let you pull this all off. Alright, so we loosened up this one just enough for us to kind of go up and down a little. Kind of see it. Not too much, just a little. Loosen it a little more. I just want this to be able to go up and down so I can get this out. You're also going to undo your trim molding here. So just kind of pull that out. You can get the carpet out around it. You're going to pull it out from under this corner. And then the seat's loose. Right, what I like to do is just take something and I'm going to prop it up. So I got this air compressor here, tire inflator, and I'm going to try and get that under the seat just to help hold it up a little, just so these aren't touching. I'll probably try and do that a little bit better. But under here, you can see the top of the plate, and they've used some sealant on top of it. So what we're going to have to do is break the edge of the sealant, and then you're going to have to get it all off these top of these bolts. There's 4 of them, 2 here, and 2 back here. And then we're going to undo those bolts, cut the sealant. You only need to cut it right at the edge of the cover. I'm going to show that to you. And we're going to pop it out. Alright, I had to remove the bolts off the front of the passenger seat so I get enough play to get it up. I didn't have to do that on the driver's side. I could have, probably would have made it a little easier. So remove the cup holder. This way I can get under here and get enough clearance to get these things out. So I've already removed the sealant off those bolts. And then this is just a 10 mil. Pretty easy. I'm going to use a ratchet or impact driver to get those out all the way. We're just going to take those out. Sorry, it's kind of hard to hold this and do the video, but you're going to go to the edge of this. You can kind of feel it, and I'm just cutting along the edge. All right, so I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm going to go all the way around it and do this. I'm going to take these bolts out, and I'm going to remove this plate. All right, so here's what it looks like with that cover removed. This is the cover. Just take this out, save it, get rid of it, whatever you want to do. I got these off of eBay from a junkyard that was getting rid of, parts. It's got the cover. It's got 4 screw holes in the cover. It's got this removable basket. Right, there's 4 bolts in there that screwed this down, screwed the cover down to this piece. There's 2 bolts. I'm going to go through these holes to screw this into the frame of the truck. And then there's this, it's kind of like a engine liner, like a hood, the hood liner above the engine kind of material, and that goes on the outside of this. It does remove, so this slides away from this. You can pull these into 2 pieces. I took that bin and set it down on the carpet inside to hold it down. I also kind of tucked the carpet back under so it'll lay pretty flat. And what I'm going to do is take a Sharpie, and I'm going to get under the truck, and I'm going to trace the outline of the hole onto the carpet padding underneath. Alright, so this is the piece that I cut out. Now what I'm doing is going along, you'll see the indentation from where this was installed along that plate. And so I'm going to carefully cut with a razor knife along that line so that I cut through the foam but not through the carpet. And then I'm going to peel this back so that all this foam is gone, and I'm only seeing the carpet from here over to here. So I have a nice little carpet flange with no foam. Alright, so here you can see that liner's been cut back. What we're going to do is take this and put it in the hole. Probably easier if you take it into 2 pieces first, but I'm just going to slide it in. Alright, so just like that. And then there's a bolt that goes here. And there's a bolt that goes here. Sorry, right there. Alright, so I just used my impact driver to put these down with a T40 for these 2 that go on the ends. Alright, so you can put the cover on. You can take like a knife or a drill bit or something. You're going to line it up with the screw holes underneath, or like the bolt holes, and you're just going to cut a hole in the carpet on all 4. And then I like take like a screwdriver or something and just make the holes bigger. This works pretty good. Just making the holes a little bigger. And I'm taking my impact driver with a T30 on the end. And then the bucket came with these. Make sure the kit you get comes with the hardware. You're going to have to buy these from Mopar, and Mopar is pricey. But I just use a impact driver. It's going to be kind of hard to do with one hand. See if this works out for me. Alright, so I'm just going to go around. I don't want to over tighten them, but you're going to put the bolts in all 4 corners. So you can see I got these bolts all in. I left them a little loose so I can adjust this and move it. And I'm going to tighten it down with my socket wrench. I don't want it to be too tight because it's going to kind of warp this a little bit. So you just want to hold it down and put pressure on it, get it tight, hold it down until it feels pretty good and the plastic is straight, but to where it's not starting to bow. Alright, so I got it all cinched down. I see a little crack on this, so unfortunately I have to live with that. I'll probably get some super glue or epoxy and fix that. This bucket just like slides down in. This is removable. Thought about maybe putting some cold beverages in there for when I go mountain biking when I'm done for my ride. Maybe, we'll see. Otherwise, it's a good storage compartment for things like oil, ratchet straps, any kind of lighter things. You don't want to probably put like your towing stuff in there because it's heavy and metal, but it's pretty lightweight, Good for some drinks, good for some things that you don't want to spill, good to hide things. All right, it closes like this. I got to clean this up. There's a little oil spilled on it from the shipping. I'm gonna have floor mats that lay over this, so they're gonna be hidden. So I'd probably use it for hiding stuff when I'm out riding my bikes, because people like to break into the cars at the trailheads. I like to keep everything out of sight. But that's kind of why I did it. You kind of see it's a mess right now. I'm gonna put everything back together. I gotta bolt the seat back down. I gotta tighten this bolt back down. I've already started tucking in all the carpet. You wanna make sure carpet gets tucked back under. You got your trim pieces back on. You're gonna put all these little plastic pieces right here. They just go back in like this. That's it. All right, and then vacuum it out, clean it up, call it a day. All right, here's what they look like. All finished. I gotta clean the edge of that one. It's got a little oil on it, but yeah, pretty good. Gotta clean those out still, but you know, not bad. It probably took me a little over an hour on each one. Give yourself about 3 hours to do a pair of them. Probably good. I'm gonna put my mat over it, my floor mat, so you can see what that looks like. All right, so here's my floor mat covering it up. You wouldn't even know they're there. You can kind of feel them under there, but you don't see them. So if you're trying to hide something, it's a pretty good place. You just put your mat up. There it is, right? So pretty good solution to get some extra hidden storage, or just extra storage at all out of these trucks. So if you like my video, please subscribe and send me a like.